This is it. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with the OGs. Got Goldee and DJ Hard. Welcome back to Behind the Scenes with the OGs. We continuing on with our screen share. This one is dealing with Black Americans won't get reparations unless Native Americans are included, and that shit came out the mouth of Biden. This is a speech that he did. I think it was back in 2018 or something like that. He made this speech. So I think Dan Calloway was put on this presentation, and he did it because he just wanted, give us insight to see where Biden, his mindset on reparations is at. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with the screen share.
Oseo, everyone. For those of you that are wondering about the definition of Oseo, it is a greeting word that can mean hello, hi, or hey, if translated into our pidgin language, English. It derives from the language Cherokee, but its roots, inspiration, and original usage stem from the indigenous Algonquin language, which was a dialect that was commonly used amongst the majority of the Niji families located throughout the East Coast and the southernmost regions of America. Now, you may be familiar with the Algonquin greeting word, yo, because a lot of our people especially are currently utilizing this word as a greeting still today, or as an indicator that a person wants to say something. If you didn't know this already, now you know. Now, in today's video, I will be covering what you see as the title of this video, when your President Brandon decided to utter a statement that carried a hidden message to all Niji seeking.
You called it Brandon.
Today. But
Biden.
Just in case you may need a reminder of what was said exactly, I'll play the clip of the video right now for your convenience.
Mr. Biden, we're at 16.9, almost 17% Black unemployment. Latino unemployment is at 17.6. Last statistics of the Labor Department. Let's do a hypothetical and say that you are elected, you get people of color's unemployment down to single digits. Most people are working, they're happy. Bob Johnson recently suggested that the African American community should see $14 trillion in reparations to try to eliminate the wealth gap, because if you are employed as a person of color, you are still so far behind in being wealthy in this country. The wealth of a white family is 7 times that of a Black family.
That's exactly right.
I know you've said before that you want to see studies, that you weren't necessarily ready to say you were for reparations, but you'd be willing to at least look at studies. There are a lot of people who suggested that these studies have been going on for a mighty long time, and why not say now whether you would be for reparations or not?
I know it has to be done now, and you know it too. Let's not wait. Let's do the study and decide whether there should be direct cash payment. But in the meantime, you know it has to be done. We know now. For example, if in fact the homes of African Americans that are in the same housing that white Americans have were valued at the same rate, there'd be $154 billion more equity in Black homes. That's most white people and everyone else builds equity, builds cash, builds access to pass things on. We have to change that. We have to change the way in which we deal with access to housing. We have to change the way in which we allow people to be able to get in and purchase housing in the first instance. We have to. These are things we can do, and we can do it. And by the way, right now, we can change the education system overnight. I've been proposing for a long time now. We should have Title I schools that have very low tax bases in their communities. We should go from $15 billion a year to 45, which we can do overnight. Increase the salaries of teachers to $60,000 a year. They're 23% paid less than everybody else graduating from school. Get them in a position where every single child in that community is able to, and they're not just African American, is able to go to school, not go to daycare, school. 3, 4, and 5 years old in school. Every study in the last 8 years of all the great universities shows that will increase by over 55% their ability to go all the way through all 12 years. We should be finding,
and we should
free
know
access.
We should know we can find that on Biden.com, but I'm not sure what your answer is to the reparations question.
If in fact there are ways in which to get direct payments for reparations, I want to see it. But why are we waiting around for the study? We can deal with it.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. You don't have to wait around.
No, they're
for
not
the study.
exclusive.
That's my point.
No, but they don't look. They're not mutually exclusive. But I can't believe that whatever it is, the African American community would not support what I'm talking about. In addition to,
I don't think we have to. Let me ask you this. Then. Let me ask you this, so we can move on. We've got to get some phone calls in as well. But let me ask you this then: if in fact a calculation comes to you that you are satisfied with, would you then say, I'm for reparations?
The answer is it would depend on what it was, and will it include Native Americans as well?
All right. Okay, let's back it up a little bit and play it again for those people that are sitting way in the back.
If in fact a calculation comes to you that you are satisfied with, would you then say, I'm for reparations?
The answer is it would depend on what it was, and will it include Native Americans as well?
All right, and before I go any further, I would like for you all to take this time now to leave your comments about this statement below and tell me what you think. And while you're at it, be sure to tap the like button on this video. And don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel for more informative content like this and more. Now, I want to give some context around this particular interview because it was just recently making its rounds throughout social media, especially on Twitter. But I want to inform you that this interview did not take place this year nor last year. Ed Gordon interviewed Biden during the year 2020. This is also the reason why you see the lower third under his name, former Vice President of the United States. So this interview was conducted during the time Donald Trump was still the president.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
And once this was broadcasted all over social media, nobody said a word about Biden overstepping his boundaries, or why Biden used the term black as if it was just a nickname given to only a specific group of people. Doesn't that sound all too familiar to you? A nickname given to only a specific group of people? Can you recall a nickname that we use for other groups of people outside of our own? Oh, you can? So tell me, is that nickname used in a derogatory sense, even if you mean well? Like, how do you think it would be received if Biden stated that if you didn't vote for him, then you ain't Mexican, or you ain't Nigerian, or you ain't German, or you ain't Irish, or you ain't Chinese, or you ain't Japanese, etc.? Wouldn't they take offense to that statement? The term black does not attach you to a specific landmass, nor does it place you with an existing race of people of a particular country for that matter. So, since the term black lacks these important factors when attempting to describe a group of people from a historical perspective, wouldn't this mean that black people are a non-existing group of people? This explains the reason why Biden used the term black, simply because it was a joke inside of a joke, and our communities were laughing at it. And here's another one, because Biden and every other politician know damn well that Native Americans have already received compensation throughout the years of their existence as being registered American citizens under the classification labeled Native Americans ever since the 1970s. For example, in 2009, the Obama administration gave $3.4 billion to Native Americans. In 2015, Obama's education budget gave $1 billion to Native Americans. And within that same year, the federal government gave $940 million to Native Americans. And recently here in 2021, Biden and his administration signed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, allocating more than $40 billion to Native Americans. And how much did the Black Americans receive so far? Zero. Because the government doesn't owe Black people on any historical account or record or even by any form of documentation. But they do owe, however, the people that were misclassified as Indians and then later reclassified as colored and then Negro, then mulatto, and now Black, but our people just don't know it yet. So since Biden said that Blacks won't get reparations unless Native Americans are included as well, was he stating yet another joke, alluding to the Native Americans taking the place and identities of Blacks on record? Or was he hinting at the fact that we are the American Indians, and both the government and the ones that replaced our identities on record should repay us all at once? I'm just here to make you think.
All right.
Okay. Now you see, just like that, Callaway say, I'm just here to make you think. Now, if that speech that Biden put on, and if all the rhetoric, if all the lies he told when he said that he'll go along with it if the Native Americans get it. Look how much money they have already gave the Native Americans, and even Obama, you know what I'm saying, issued out, you know what I'm saying, money to them, whereas he didn't even support his own people. And people better listen to what he said. That word Black, calling us Black, does not give us no identity. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people better recognize and realize. That's why I'm always speaking on us being the true, real American Indians. You know what I'm saying? This is our land. You know what I'm saying? Our people was already here, our ancestors, and this already belonged to us. But as long as we go around and accept a name and a label that they put on us, how the hell are we going to claim something?
Well, in the language of AB 3121, African American is used, all right? And they say that's to identify a specific group of people who are descendants of chattel slavery in America. All right, so that's where the decision should be involved, you know, in relationship to slavery and all of the stuff that happened around slavery. Of course, the Indians, man, they face a lot of problems too, but they already got some money. We haven't.
Fucking fake. They fake Indians. They not no motherfucking. They not real true Indians.
Regardless, the money has been allocated.
I'm getting ready. People sitting up here always talking about African this, African that, calling themselves Africans, and still accepting this, man. I'm tired of this.
Anyway, this is, you know what?
We gotta face what really is ours, what really belongs to us, and who we truly fucking are. We do have we do have land already. Not African.
All I'm gonna say is this in regards to the label. People have accepted the label black.
That don't make it right. That makes it.
No. But this is what I'm trying to say.
People being.
I understand what you're saying. But at the same time,
all people been doing is accepting whatever they put at us. No, it's time to stop that accepting shit, and it's time to stop going along with that.
All right. Can I say something else? Right. In the wording of HR 40 and AB 3121, our way of being identified in both documents that I saw refer to African Americans. So I'm telling you that to change that's already been written into these studies and proposals, that's a whole different issue, man. So
exactly, it's a whole different issue.
I know, but I'm just saying that would be a delay. You know how long they will be talking about that?
You keep on sitting up here. That's the problem. You keep on sitting up here talking about how they already got designed, the shit that they already designed, and you basically you saying this is what we got to go along with. This is what we got to accept. I don't want to hear that. That's what we don't.
That's okay. That's on you. That's on you.
And he just told you, as long as you saying you black, you are not represented as no group of people.
Well, I can understand that.
You got to understand it.
Wait a minute. You know what? They're saying you're not tied to the land, or black people are not tied to the land, right?
Because who the hell is
I'm gonna say this.
Black does not describe.
People may call themselves colored, black, or Latino, Latino, or whatever, and they own land right now today.
Right. So, when everything behind Negro was put on us, you know what I'm saying, by the pale face. Okay,
well, not true, but right now, you arguing over a name when we trying to push the issue of trying to get the money. So what's more important? All right, pushing
you ain't gonna get no money
or arguing about the name.
Explain to you, you're not gonna get no money if you calling yourself anything other than a motherfucking American Indian. You're not figuring to get no money. But he just told you if the native Indians is not going to, you know what I'm saying, get it, which they done already got it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the game, how they play trickeration. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you right now, if you don't stand up and identify what the fuck belongs to you, who the hell you are, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I want to move on to my screen share, all right? Because in my screen share, it will help identify what's going down now. It's not a debate over names, all right? Of course, they dealt with that already, all right? And they wrote it down the way they wrote it down. So I'm not going to...
Okay, I wrote it down. I don't mean it's going to
happen. Wait, can I say something? What you're talking about is take whatever produced already, take it back and put in corrections all over the place without consulting the black people in America again and giving us a name again. So what is the name?
No, you twisted it.
What is the name? While we're talking over a name, the money is passing by.
That's not what I'm saying, dude. What I'm telling you is that's who we truly are.
Well, okay. As I look at it,
you know what I'm saying, that our people don't know, that's been kept away from us. The truth is now have been manifested. The truth is here. The truth is real now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know this. So all that old rhetoric.
Okay, what I want to say,
What the hell?
Maybe everybody you know.
Yeah, you said
everybody you know this. But the people
knows it, bro. It ain't me.
Here, they don't know that. They calling themselves black and African American. So whatever you're talking about,
blacks call themselves American Indians.
First got to deal with the message.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's like when you are wrestling with a name, the money is going somewhere else right now. This conversation is going down right now.
It ain't going nowhere. As long as you don't know who you are and you don't know what belongs to you, ain't no money coming nowhere. That was the best.
Let me tell you something about money. Money, you can make money all kinds of different ways. Reparation is not the only way to get money. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely ain't. But when you're talking about reparation, that if you want to get reparation is a debt. You know what I'm saying? That's owed to the American Indians. You understand what I'm saying? And some Africans. All right. It ain't no such thing as no damn African American. Either you're African or you're American.
All right. We go in. We done already went over time. We done dealt with this stuff. We done put that news out there. This is the debate. All right. Let's not go over the name. Wrestle with the name.
If we're
gonna have a wrestling match, wrestle for the money, man.
I'm wrestling with the name because the name is
wrestle for the money. Okay. Wrestle for the money, buddy. You understand what I'm saying? Keep your mind on that money and stop with the emotional issues.
I'm not accepting what
the name that you want to be chosen.
You accept. I'm not accepting that. Today. I'm accepting nothing but the truth and nothing but the real. I'm not accepting.
Let me say something. Let me say something. This whole thing gonna get down to ancestry. And as I go deeper into my ancestry, I don't know personally.
You don't even know what it's gonna get down to. You just believe something. You believe something that you done read and you taking their word.
Bro, I'm not telling you I'm gonna take anybody's word. If I research my ancestry, that's my research. I will have documented proof exactly what the facts are. And you can't tell me I ain't smart enough to find it out. I already have figured out 4 or 5 different ways to research my history. You know what I'm saying? My personal family history. All I got to do is take the time out to do it and spend a little bit of money on the things that it takes.
Get that part done, though. You do that. You get that part done.
Meantime, I don't feel like wrestling over names. I want to wrestle for the money, Hunt. From the money, bro. I want to wrestle for that.
No.
Wrestle over semantics.
That's rhetoric, man. You're not going to.
We're going to get a lot of rhetoric thrown up in this thing.
We're not selling. I'm not buying that dream, man.
All right. Let's move on to the next screen.
Yes, sir. Move on.
Wrap this one up. And we'll be right back.
2 minutes, 2 seconds.
I got with me Big Ed. How you doing? You know, we got my cameraman over there know who he's helping us out big time. Oh, you been low riding? I'm running around a couple years now, you know. All right, like, you know, my buddies out here. Living low ride longer than me, but, you know, having a good time with them. Now, are you in a low rider club? Yes, I'm in no living low rider club. No, living! Now, are you lifting, brother? Not right now, brother. Oh, okay, good. So, have you ever been in one of them hop contests? Yeah, I've been around watching them. I've been all I'm here right now today. So, yeah, got fun out here today over here in college. You know, the association's been doing some good work, man. They did the Katrina National Disaster everything. Was you a part of that? Yes, I'm part of that. I was there, you know, helped out the players at the store. You know, help everybody out there.
Anybody have seen it down this park? Or would like to come to them on television? I know. I'm ready. Okay. You know what? Okay. Yeah, okay. Anybody else have seen it down this park?
I got my man over here in the big. Right on. Thank you, and God bless you, brother.
Okay, we back from our break. Behind the scenes with the OGs. Yeah, we had a little, heated 2 minute, session backstage, but we back, and we on point and vibing together as usual. And DJ is to move on with his presentation and his share. All right, on reparation task force.
Yeah. Well, right quick, this is the January 28, 2022 Reparation Task Force meeting, part 1 of 5. I want to just show a little bit of this, and then we're going to go to we're going to skip to another one of the meetings. Okay.
Who also referred to us as welfare queens. Then I heard it from Biden on the Senate floor for his 94 crime bill that Bill Clinton made law, which is why nationally 1 in 81 freedmen adults in the U.S. is serving time in state prison. In Wisconsin, 1 in 36. And now Jen Psaki said Biden is prepared to be more tough on crime than even Trump by giving $350 billion to militarized race soldiers to patrol freedmen streets and execute us with immunity. Not social justice and economic inclusion for freedmen, but Biden earmarks $350 billion to employ more race soldiers while our elected officials scratch their heads as to why black crime and murder are on the rise, and freedmen who can't afford to leave the Chiracs throughout the country are begging for more police. I know you can't control what your speakers say, but it pains me to hear brown included in our data as much as blackness does. The Democrats have made their plans to neutralize us economically, our albatross, and it's highly insulting that we can't even have a conversation or policy specific to us without the immigrant class being tethered to it, and yet when Biden gives away our reparations and protections to them, it's exclusively about them. Shout out to State Secretary Weber for making it crystal clear that reparations is for freedmen who descend from U.S. chattel slavery. The ancestors truly spoke through her expose yesterday. One of the speakers praised Evanston reparations. Why? 16 recipients received a housing voucher as a down payment for a home or home repairs. The median home price in Evanston is $325,000.
All right, I want to stop right there. I want to stop right there because on one of our previous programs, we covered Evanston, Illinois. And when I saw that and I looked at it, I said, that's a stimulus program for already existing businesses, like the home repair business, construction business, the retail agencies for real estate, the bankers who give out the loans and stuff like that. That's all good for them. But $25,000 on they're saying the amount of the average price of them homes, man, that's not even 10% of the money down. So
the main thing on her argument is that's not reparation.
It isn't. It's a stimulus program for business.
Argument.
That's what I'm saying. So I want to move on to the next screen share that I want to do.
In the show that we did on that, the same thing that she's saying, we broke it down that was not reparation. You know what I'm saying? And that was not even been considered reparation.
All right, here's the next screen share.
Why you didn't finish? Let us finish hearing what the task force is saying.
Man, look, that conversation went on for 3 hours or 2 or 3 hours. We can go back and hear a little bit more, just for convenience sake. All right, let's go back. All right, now look here. This program is 2 hours or something.
I don't care. Just do a little bit more. I want to hear what she's
okay.
It's insulting to lock freedmen out of the reparations conversations and then pass this off as reparations. Speaking of Narcan and Cobra, they've done the same thing to H.R. 40, which the House is doing a four-court press to pass this nothing burger of a bill, which Narcan and Cobra, Pan-Africanist organizations who believe black immigrants who got CARICOM and others who descend from slave traders should be entitled to our reparations, are left in charge of dispersing whatever comes of the study. Freedmen know how to receive
you so much, Ms. Nirvana, for your comments this morning.
We'll listen to one more.
Please.
The next one really get into some good stuff.
Daryl Rowe, you have been unmuted. You now have 3 minutes.
The cumulative loss of Black life due to cruel and vicious brutality, contempt, and callous indifference, specifically in the utter disregard for Black lives and bodies generally, is incalculable. Later offer public comments regarding the needs for a broad, multifaceted system of reparations for all persons of African ancestry in these United States. The rule of law, the cornerstone of this American experiment, demands redress when people have been wronged, and the redress for reparations are designed to make the wronged whole. So the only reason we're here this morning is because of the deeply ingrained sense of beliefs that stem from a common source, ongoing and continuous disregard for the denial of the validity of the fundamental humanity of persons of African ancestry. One of the most heinous instigations out of the West was this thing called slave, in reference to its creation and slavery. One of its enduring effects was to seek to fully dehumanize 30+% of the human population while holding harmless the perpetrators of this crime against humanity. The use of the thing called slave served to justify the savage and brutal denigration of American life. Folks of African ancestry spent 244 years in one of the most virulent forms of bondage in human history, trafficked by almost all Western Northern European countries. After emancipation, Africans spent another 99 years in a socially sanctioned system of limited citizenship, where terror and restricted access were the fundamental systems of control. Race, fairly recent construct in human history, with its use as a means of categorizing human differences and structuring societal privileges, was coined to permanently place Africans in bondage. Race and its correlates, racism, have been used to describe, catalog, examine, and teach about human differences repeatedly in pernicious ways. So once race became the primary means of categorizing and classifying persons of African ancestry, it became a shorthand for inflicting misery, suffering, and contempt. All Black folks who wore the badge of darkened skin were subject to the same cruelty and neglect, whether their ancestors had been held in bondage or enslaved, or were recent immigrants underinformed about the insidiousness of white supremacy policymaking. Lynching, one of the clearest examples of the savagery and viciousness of white supremacy and its associated policies, was used to traumatize Black folks and is a foundation of historical trauma for persons of African ancestry. Lynching and its contemporary example, socially sanctioned police killings, is cumulative and collective. So those who never even experienced the terror, such as children, descendants, and other Black immigrants, can still exhibit signs and symptoms of trauma. In mental health, we see traumatic events as extraordinary, not necessarily because they occur infrequently, because they overwhelm ordinary adaptations to life. Traumatic events are seen as outside the normal range of a person's experience and constitute exceptional mental and physical stressors. Unfortunately, the traumatic events of our collective history were both normal.
Mr. Rowe, I'm so sorry to cut you off in the middle of your sentence. Thank you so much.
All right.
Next speaker.
Now, what I want to say about that is the format is 3 minutes. They get 3 minutes to talk, and they got to move on to the next speaker. All right. Meantime, in the previous testimony, the lady brought up people like me who's no longer in California, and that's one of the issues that they're wrestling with this program right now. And as they move forward, I hope they come up with a resolution for it. But the way I look at it is that I can look out for my family and friends and community by studying this issue and becoming one of the experts that can help solve this problem. We're on that trajectory, and we're going to continue on that direction to be one of the people that even the state of California can call, and we can assist them in research and getting the word out. All right, this is a mission we're funding out of our own pocket. The government don't pay us to put on shows like this. This is coming out of our own pocket. We're going to move on with the next one, more recent. Okay, this one is March 29th, 2022, Reparations Task Force meeting, afternoon session, part 1 of 4. And I'm going to hit this like button to let them know that somebody is watching this show. All right, now, see, one of the issues is if you can see this little small number right here, all right, 548 views at the time of the production of this show. All right. Now, that's where we can come in, help and spread the word. Now, so let's continue on with some of the other information and the testimony of experts.
Of eligibility is at the root of today's discussion. My personal journey reflects and supports that African Americans can document their connections to enslaved ancestors. Next slide. I trace my maternal ancestry to enslaved matriarch Florianne, whose daughters Rose and Marianne Reynolds emerged in Norfolk, Virginia court records in 1825 after Rose paid $500 to free her younger sister from a slave trading family. I trace my enslaved paternal ancestry to Civil War veteran Corporal Fielding Lyle of Company B of the 114th Regiment of U.S. Colored Troops, who used his $200 military bounty in 1874 to buy 20 acres of land. Those acres formed the nucleus of a town that still stands today called Lyletown, named after its founder and located in Clark County, Kentucky. Next slide, please. And finally, I trace my maternal enslaved ancestry to Rachel Hodges of Portsmouth, Virginia, a woman sold away from her family in the 1850s, a woman whose son, Mills Sumner Jr., found his mother in Atlanta, Georgia, after a 26-year search. It required the same number of years to research these ancestors, to reunite mother and son visually with photographs, because different elders held different heirlooms, and each only knew small parts of our family's history. I offer these stories to exemplify the types of discoveries possible through research. The first example, historian Dr. Tommy Bosier's study, Free Blacks in Norfolk, traced the history of free African-American Helen Robinson Harris to enslaved ancestors, Florianne, Rose, and Marianne Reynolds. The second example, historian Harry G. Enoch's 2011 Winchester Sun newspaper article, Where in the World Lyletown, a Black Hamlet, combined private court and public records to document the founding of a community by a formerly enslaved man. And the last example of Rachel Hodges and Bill Sumner Jr. showed how piecing together different stories, oral history, family heirlooms, and public records, such as the Atlanta, Georgia Freedmen's Savings Bank account record, can flesh out stories and connect African Americans to their enslaved ancestry. Next slide, please. My genealogy journey began during the U.S. bicentennial in 1976 in the halls of the National Archives in Washington, D.C. when I was 13 years old. There I met James Walker, a founder of the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society. He helped me navigate through archival records and sources. I also later met Reginald Washington, Walker's successor, who developed research guides and programs on African-American genealogy. Through these two men and other archive staff, I witnessed the valuable work being done by the National Archives to increase access to federal records and assist with African-American genealogy and enslaved family research. Next slide, please. After college, I worked in special libraries, which led to my position as a professional genealogist at a premier U.S. lineage society, Daughters of the American Revolution. While there, I reviewed, approved, or rejected several thousand applications of women who traced their lineage to Revolutionary War patriots. I contributed research to 2 books, Forgotten Patriots and Women of the Revolutionary Era, publications that identified thousands of sources documenting African Americans, Native Americans, and women who supported the American cause.
Yeah, 'cause that's us.
I also helped document that Eunice, Russ, Ames, Amos Davis, daughter of Patriot Prince Ames, and the granddaughter of an enslaved man, joined the Lineage Society in 1896, more than 80 years prior to the date when the members believed the first African American woman joined their Lineage Society. My years at the DAR exposed me to an array of genealogical sources, publications, and institutions that documented African American lives dating before America's founding. I discovered published sources with segregated information, and by this I mean records where African Americans and people of color were listed separately from whites. I realized, ironically, that some of those biased record-keeping and publishing practices help current genealogists identify African American ancestors more readily. I shared this part of my journey to further emphasize that enslaved Africans, African Americans, Native Americans, and others appear in multiple types of sources and records as enslaved people. And that evidence needed to trace enslaved ancestry exists in abundance in primary, secondary, and derivative sources. Next slide, please. My genealogy journey carried me to my current position at the Smithsonian Libraries and Archives branch at the National Museum of African American History and Culture, where I serve as a genealogy specialist, providing genealogical and historical references to museum staff and the public. Next slide, please. I also support the museum's, one slide back, please. There. I also support the museum's crowdsourcing project, where volunteers help us transcribe 1.7 million images of the Freedmen's Bureau digital records collection. Our goal is to provide genealogists, historians, and other researchers with full-text searchable, free online access to the records. To date, more than 37,000 volunteers have helped us transcribe more than 340,000 of the 1.7 million digital images. The Freedmen's Bureau records provide information crucial to documenting pivotal generations of African Americans between enslavement and freedom. Created in 1865 by Congress to manage abandoned lands, help white refugees, and assist the formerly enslaved, Bureau operations extended across 15 states, Western territories, and Washington, D.C. Bureau agents recorded incomparable details about African American individuals and families. And it is this body of records that will assist some of the potential members of the community of eligibility in tracing their lineage to enslaved ancestors. Next slide, please. I've highlighted the positive experiences connected with enslaved family research. However, there are negatives. Genealogical research is a time-consuming, costly process. Slave-era research is challenging because the system varied over time, by place, and by the form of slavery practice, and by the manner in which the records documented enslavement. I generalized the types of records I used to document my enslaved ancestry. Those records were scattered across a multitude of research institutions across the nation. Looking at California.
Miss Gentry, I'm so sorry to interrupt. You have about 1 minute. 1 minute warning.
Okay, I'm closing. Looking at California genealogical and historical resources and the possible places of enslavement of the ancestors of the community of eligibility, I have drafted a short list of suggestions to consider as you continue meetings, debates, and discussions on today's gathering. Time limits prevent me from reading the suggestions. This concludes my remarks, and I have submitted the list of suggestions in writing for the record. If members of the task force have any questions, I'm happy to address them.
All right. That to me, that's a very important piece of information that she's given. As the testimony of one of the experts that's on this subject, and that's good news for everybody. Because she cited a free source, and so I'm going to list this program title in the description of the program so you can look it up for yourself and go and get additional information. Now, this is going to be the last screen share I got right here on this subject, and this is April 14th. That's, not
like in San Francisco, huh?
Yeah, okay. So let's get into it. And I'm not going to play all of it because, as you can see, this program lasts for 3 hours and 26 minutes. I think I got it queued up. Let's see if this lady right here, I want you to really hear her. All right, so I think I got it queued up. All right, so let's go.
Tamaki, we need the best of you showing up for the work.
Right, let's back it up some. I think I missed some of it.
Via the email at reparationstaskforce@doj.ca.gov. So with that, can we have
all right? So this is what I want to commend this staff about. It's about being open and transparent as possible and really professional and allowing public comments to come in. So let's hear this part again, because this information is how the people of California and other people of concern can get right in touch with these people if you got something to say. All right, so let's continue on.
And that we shall do when we keep the faith and never give up on reparations, an idea whose time has come. Thank you very much.
Very like that.
Thank you, Vice Chair Brown, for those opening remarks. We'll now turn to agenda item number 14, which is public comment. I'll now turn to Ms. Aisha Martin-Walton. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Moore, task force members. My name is Aisha Martin-Walton. I am with the Department of Justice, and the task force would like to hear from you. The public comment period will be for 1 hour for each, and each person will have 3 minutes to speak. Because we are in person today, we will take the first half hour will be in person. So if you have a comment, if you could please line up, and we will take the in-person comments first, and then we will transfer to the callers. So with that, the only other advisal is please be advised that in fairness to everyone, that at the 3-minute mark, you may be politely interrupted. However, just know that public comment period is for everyone, and you may always submit written comments via the email at reparationstaskforce@doj.ca.gov. So with that, can we have the first commenter?
Exciting. Good morning. I am Friday Jones. My name is Constance Jones Muhammad. I am the National Facilitator for the National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants, co-facilitator for the Los Angeles chapter, also a member of CJEC. I'm very privileged and glad to be here this morning. I've had the experience of having all of you on our show, Politics in Black, to bring information and awareness to reparations, and I thank you for being part of that. Yesterday, A Tribe Called Quest and the Wu-Tang Clan were inducted into our congressional archives because they were culturally relevant. Their bodies of work were culturally relevant. Ali Shaheed Muhammad is my brother, so I will give my brother some love and his accomplishment. But this is culturally relevant. This is my body of work. This will be the last legacy that I will leave on this planet Earth before I depart. And so with that, I just want to say that it's important for us to give our talents. We are here in service. The work that I do, I am not compensated for, but we are here to be of service. And I want to ask, specifically, she is not here today, but Dr. Holder, Dr. Grills, you are a champion. People know you in community. Your work has its own sound to it, and it is meaningful. And we need the best of you. Tamaki, we need the best of you showing up for the work that needs to be done here today. That's all I have to say. I saw this little song in the hymn book that I picked up. We've come a long way. Come a long way, Lord. A long way. We've borne the burden of the heat of the day. We've come a long way. We have come a long way. This workers culturally.
Yeah. Well,
She was up there wasting all that time saying nothing, man. I thought she was supposed to get up there and speak on, you know, some saying reparation.
yeah.
Why?
Well, this is what I want to say is like when you're dealing with this, the public comment, they go all over the place, man. You know, she is part of the public, and that's the way that shit go. You know, so now I just wanted to give you an idea what folks are doing with these 3-minute formats for public comment. You know, because they got it available digitally. You know, you can log in remotely, and you can come in person.
Got any soldiers up there speaking, man?
Well, let me see if we can find somebody that really got down. All right, let's see. I think that. All right, let me see. I think this.
That brother right there.
All right, we're gonna get to the brother right here.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chris Lobson, Coalition for Just and Equitable California, CJC. Speaking on my own volition, I think that's the word. So, first, I want to reiterate something I said yesterday in my public comments, which is the opposition to AB 2296, introduced by Member Joan Sawyer, who I don't know if he's here today. That bill would extend your work by 1 year into 2024, but you were not told about that. You were not asked about that. You did not ask for that. You did not discuss that as a task force. So to introduce that without consultation to you, quite frankly, I find it disrespectful to your work and to the efforts that you put in, I believe, unpaid here in many ways. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I want to also reiterate something that Therese just said about the communications. I understand that's going to be a topic of discussion today. I think we do need to bring in additional communications support, and I'm looking forward to your discussions on that today, and I encourage you to do that.
Communication support, that's us, man. I don't know who they're looking for, but they need to be looking for us, man. We're going to help get the word out.
The thing I want to say is, so CJEC is one of your 6 community anchor organizations, and for the folks listening and watching in the Bay Area, Saturday, May 28th, we are having our first in-person hybrid listening session in Oakland. Saturday, May 28th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the California Ballroom. Dr. Brown, I think you're going to get a direct invite also to be one of the attendees also. I may be speaking ahead of my group here, but that's what I heard. And then finally, I want to talk about quickly AB 1604. AB 1604, which is a piece of legislation that our team has written language in, authored by Assemblymember Christopher Holden, that would, for the first time ever in Section 2, create a category of data collection for Black folks who descend from U.S. slavery. We do not right now have anywhere in the state, in any city, where we can go and say, hey, tell me how many Black folks who descend from U.S. slavery are in your city or in this state. And so AB 1604 would do that. This would be the first state in the country, I think, that actually has that language. So I'm encouraging the task force to support that. It's a shame that after 400 years, we don't have a name. After 400 years, we do not have a name.
There you go, Goldie. See, so somebody's thinking about you.
Oh, he's saying some real shit that we don't got a fucking name. We got a name, but they want to call us what they want to call us.
Yeah, okay.
Have been invisible as a people. That's also why your vote last month for lineage-based reparations eligibility was so important to us, because it actually finally said that y'all see us, but we are seen. So thank you. And
that's why I keep saying it's mandatory. They not slipping through no loopholes. You know what I'm saying? To get away from this whip right here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, before we end the screen share, and part of this conversation, they got to talking about what other artists is doing. Let me tell you about this artist, DJ Hard. What I'm doing. I got the receipts now. All right, so first thing, I want to give a shout out to all of my #1 music fans. Y'all, man, I just can't call you fans. I got to call you super fans. Why? Because you're putting me on top. Here it is. DJ Hard and the Geek Lab. This was a collaboration. I worked with one of my friends on this song. All right. Here it is, number 2 on the charts. All right. 420 Love Dub. That's the name of that song. All right. Then I'm coming in at number 3. All right. Move Conscious. All right. And here's the song of the day. All right. The subject of the day. DJ Hard, Money and Black Lives Matter. Number, where's the number on that? Let's see. Number 4 on the charts. There we go. Then I got another one. Pull it up the chart. It's moving up the chart. Today They Rock. And that's an instrumental song. All right. So I got the receipts here. Oh, wait a minute. I went down a little bit more. I got number 10. What? On my way. Yeah. All right. And now look here. If y'all gonna say nobody know me, boy, I'm telling you, I got the receipts. All right, look here. 161,309 profile views in one location. Now, we're in various locations. This is just what's happening in one location. My favorite location, all right? Now, how many plays have my music got? 124,926, all right? Now, if them was all sales, man, our program will be fully funded. I'll be able to run some advertising in the state of California, telling everybody about behind the scenes. All right. And our coverage of the task force reparation project. All right. What they got going on in the state of California. All right. Now, even look at that. They got me up here now. This is something new. I don't know what all that is about, but man, I'm getting into it. So I'm in the screen share here. I just want to let y'all know that now is the time for us to speak up. We have a voice. I don't care what the rhetoric says. You got a voice. Please use it. All right. Your silence is making the leadership think we don't exist. We don't matter. All right. But we do matter if we do more than march down the street. All right. More than think about emotional issues. All right. Because this topic right here that we're dealing with, let me go back to that again. Let me see if I can get back to it. Let's see. All right. This topic right here, dealing with reparations. This topic right here, this is a legal issue. This is a debt that's owed to us, and it's a debt that's overdue. It's not an emotional issue. It is a legal issue. It is a moral issue.
Straight like that. As the brother was saying, you know what I'm saying? It's time, you know, for us to wake up to the current events of what's going on. And, you know, reparation, you got to, you know, participate because in this day and time, at this point, it's really, truly mandatory. That's why they at the level of trying to figure out, you know, someone saying through lineage and also, you know what I'm saying, how it's going to get distributed. This is the stage that it's at right now. That's why we put on the presentation dealing with reparation for our audience, you know what I'm saying, for people, you know what I'm saying, that's you know, probably like, you know, that's not above the middle class, you know, because our people may have a tendency not to want to really get up on educational stuff and be knowledgeable people. You know what I'm saying? We so much, you know what I'm saying, bogged down and tied down, threw off when it comes to drama. You know what I'm saying? drama, 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 man. And that drama, you know what I'm saying, is why you can't, your third eye, you can't get it, you know, she'll say your third eye to kick in, you know what I'm saying, because that drama is throwing you off, man. And we feeling it, you know what I'm saying, on every level, even on the level of us, you know what I'm saying, trying to do business with our own brothers, you know what I'm saying, out here, you know, the so-called doing their own thing, like just for example, like a mechanic, you hire somebody, you know what I'm saying, to put some work in, you know what I'm saying, and you're going to get a savvy job, you know what I'm saying, out of, you know, our so-called brothers, man.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you brought that up, man, because it is our responsibility, you know, and our reputation on the line when we do work. You know, whatever job I try not to take on a job that I can't do. That's number one. Some black people, man, they'll say, yeah, give me the job. And they're not qualified.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, they ain't got the tools. They ain't got no transportation. Can't even get to work. You know what I mean? So, but they want the job. They want the money. You know what I mean? And so, but they might not deserve it. And that's the same thing dealing with reparation, man. And on top of that, reparations, one of the things that they're talking about is not repetition of the things that got us so bad off. All right. That's why, you know, somebody got to monitor this. Somebody got to take time out of their day to look at this. We can't continue to let very horrendous things go on and then say nothing and do nothing and sit back like, okay, we're going to wait for it to happen again because we can't do nothing. No, you can do something. This is America. Well, this is our nation, and we need to use our voices to shape the nation.
That's right. So we part of the monitoring. The task force is doing their job as far as monitoring. You know, so the monitoring is getting done. That's why I say ain't no looking back. You know what I'm saying? This is mandatory. You know, we got to just keep pushing the line, but we need to push the line, you know what I'm saying, with our people of awareness to what's going on and understanding and realizing, you know what I'm saying, that we striving to get a debt paid. You know what I'm saying? That is no way and no reason in the world that it should not get paid. You know, and we can't have Biden with his old fake lies coming up here and what he's trying to do is throw everything off when he say that he cool with it long as, you know what I'm saying, it applies to the native Indians, you know.
Well, see that, wait a minute, can I interject? When you're talking about politics,
how you gonna cut me off before I finish?
All right, go ahead. I can remember this.
Yeah. So, you know, he used that as a loophole to try. It's a stunt for more confusion. See, so you know that's what I'm saying. That's why it's important for us to know and be able to identify. You know what I'm saying? Who we are, not who somebody say and try to tell us we are, like we don't know who the hell we are, you know what I'm saying? Although we've been lied to and brainwashed, you know what I'm saying? But in this day and time, we are not no more. So we are aware. We know what the truth and the real is. So we got to stand up as men, and I'm talking to the black so-called men, you know what I'm saying, running around here, you know what I'm saying? Not representing and misrepresenting, you know what I'm saying, what you're supposed to be representing. You know, our brothers is being really, really sorry. You know what I'm saying? And man, in this day and time, man, y'all got to start talking about what me and DJ talking about. You know what I'm saying? Put this on your brain. You know, stop talking about all this, having all this drama and going through all this drama, getting money and not, you know what I'm saying, getting money and then still want to hate, still want to, you know what I'm saying, see your brother climbing up the ladder. You want to pull him down? Man, we done with all that madness, man.
Well, let me point out. This is politics. Now, in the street, they got a slang called throwing salt up in the game, right? So in politics, they throw salt up in the game by amending. And what Biden did is saying, okay, now here's what we're talking about. He want to amend it, all right? That's throwing salt up in the game. In other words, if it do pass with his salt thrown up in there, then part of our benefits is going somewhere else, all right? Because, that's a way that they tap in on the benefits that we should have been getting a long time ago.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying, it's imperative that we stay on top of our game, you know what I'm saying? So we can, we can relay this information and show you whatever we could come up with, you know what I'm saying? We could be able to put it on the screen and show you exactly, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. But we need your interest. We need you to share. We need you to like. We need you to subscribe, you know what I'm saying? So we can keep our production on, you know what I'm saying, getting this educational information out, you know what I'm saying, to our brothers now, today, who really, really, really need it bad, man. Stop all this tripping and shit on this dumb shit, man. And
let me bring up something, all right? Now, Martin Luther King said, I'm going to Washington to get my check. That's one quote that they don't use very much. They don't overlook that. They talk about the dream. That's the emotional good feeling that you want, right? All right. So they're gonna give you the dream.
Come and get that money.
Yeah, and not give you the money, right? Give you a good feeling and no money. All right. So we got to get away from that. That feel good stuff. No, we need money so we can compete in American industry or buy homes and engage in America like everybody else, right? And now you got to say, the reason why we need to close the wealth gap is because here it is. I'm in the media business. I'm in the music business. What does that mean? What do my competition have? My white competition have millions, and some of them got billions of dollars compared to my whatever it is I got. I mean, I ain't got enough to even throw in there like I want to throw in there. All right. So they got millions. That means if they got millions, they can just take a piece of one of that $1 million, like $100,000, and throw it into a film or a music project and pay for advertising and all the other specialties that they need to move this thing forward, right? They got it. So this is what we're talking about. Even if we try to get engaged, we are outgunned because they got the money and we don't. That's why we need reparations to repair the injustice that from our 40 acres of mule up to the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what part of this conversation. And we got to keep them on track. We got to keep that timeline down to 1 year, like they originally said, and say no extensions. We will not accept a delay. A delay is defeat. All right? We will not be defeated. That's the way you go at it, like you're a winner, man. Let's have confidence that you are going to win and that this thing is going to come through right and that the timeline will be met and we will finally have a document available to the public explaining which way they're going to do this. All right? So 1 year from now, we need to hold them to that deadline and not let them extend it on. We are not John Conyers. In some kind of way, we got to make progress a lot faster than what he did and get California done so the federal government will have a role model to look at and say, okay, here's California. They got something going on.
Well, it's going down, you know what I'm saying? Irregardless, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's mandatory. And, the whole point is that it's going down and it's going down because it's a debt that y'all owe us. Y'all owe the American Indians and some African Americans. Y'all owe, you know what I'm saying? And so our blood, sweat, and tears went into making you be on the level that you are on right today. So the white folks of today who got the positions that they have, you know what I'm saying, trust and believe, if it weren't for us, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in right now. And if you think you're going to keep on cheating us, you know what I'm saying, our rightful position, it ain't going down no longer. The buck stops here. You know what I'm saying? And it's behind the scenes with the OGs, you understand what I'm saying? We coming at you with this information and this knowledge. And hey, man, we ain't going to break our stride. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to say to my audience and my music fans, right? Because let me tell you, the songs that I'm writing, some of them are based on the study that I have on my concerns with my people over the years. All right. And I had to put it in words and put it out there so the world will hear. You know what I'm saying? If they're talking about cultural music, well, my music tells the story of the story that the rest of these rappers and singers are not saying. All right. That's my music. Let them say that weak stuff that everybody feel good off of, you know what I'm saying? And they get their little money and they go. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm putting something on their mind that's based on real, that's based on more than selfishness. It's based on something that we all need to pay attention to. That's Move Contest. That's Money and Black Lives Matter. That's on my way to think positive, man. And what we need to say, and we want to be positive about this, and we're going to say reparations now and hold it to a 1-year deadline. No extensions.
All right. So that's our show. And we hope you guys, you know what I'm saying, got something out of it.
We're going to add one more section, man. The last section, and let them see a little video that we put together.
Already, that's what I'm getting to, but go ahead. You explain it then.
Oh, no, Goldee, I want to hear you say it, man. It's all good.
Well, I mean, you done already said it, so. Right. But anyway, we're going to move on to the shout-outs part of our show, and we're really coming to the ending. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we appreciate your participation. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? That's your way of participating, you know, in with our subject, our conversation, and what have you.
All right. And we'll be right back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds, you know, with our screen share, to show our final little segment and say goodnight. All right. We'll be right back.
2 minutes, 2 seconds.
God.
Welcome back to Behind the Scenes with the OGs. We have come to the ending of our show. We're going to show you some photos, of some of our customers who, bought our T-shirts and are rocking our T-shirts. And, we got a few photos to show over just a few things that we'll be dealing with. And that's going to be, show today. Okay? So let's proceed on with the screen share.
All right, I'm going to rock it right now.
You still have a... Shout out to Mini Bike Legacy. That was one of the ride outs that we done. We go on ride outs like every weekend, things like that. We have ride outs and we have mini bike takeovers. We also, we sell parts. We sell whole bikes. So summertime's coming, so you might as well get ready right now. Mini Bike Legacy. We'll have you riding and styling and profiling on a mini bike. Got you. And everybody like to have that. Different world. Frame of mind, frame of thought. Feeling that your body get, the air that's, you intaking, and you riding and stuff. It's a lot of fun, man, So if you into it, it's a hobby. If you ever into it or, get your kids into it, mini bikes, whatever, hit us up. Mini Bike Legacy, Instagram. All you gotta do is go to the Instagram page, Mini Bike Legacy. Or, Santa always do some advertising on Behind the Scenes with the OGs.
Okay, we're going to continue on with it.
Out to United Riders, San Antonio, Texas, Don Soprano, you know what I'm saying? You got to shoot some pictures of stuff so we can, put some of your pictures up, so what dealing with your Harley and everything. And that's one of them cutie pies, rocking red bone. That was a red bone right there.
We're going to back this up a little bit.
Let's go and play again. That's one of our,
Okay, she's styling and profiling.
Styling and profiling.
Money and Black Lives Matter. This album, man, it got the hit songs on there, man. So this is a great album. I got another one that's
number 4. What was it? Number 4? Money and Black Lives Matter, the song?
Yeah, let's see. It came in I think it's number 4 or something like that. Yeah. And today there's rock.
That got people probably rocking on shirts, you know what I'm saying? So getting out there.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's back it up just a little bit. I want you to hear some of this instrumental song. See where it go. All right. I don't know what happened to the music, man. The music ain't playing. Oh, there we go. Oh, I didn't check when I was doing the video. I didn't check it, so that the music don't play all the way to the end.
I don't know. It got distortion.
You looking good there, buddy.
Say what?
I said you looking good there.
We got distortion. You got some distortion, man. The music, I don't know.
The music then stopped playing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, money and Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? Reparation is dealing with money. You know what I'm saying? For the Black Lives that matter. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, we will never break our stride. We're going to keep on, you know what I'm saying, pushing the line. You know what I'm saying? We know this is a mandatory debt. You know what I'm saying? That it has to be paid. So, you know, here we are, you know, putting on this presentation, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know, somebody gets something out of the show and want to participate. Okay, I want to give a shout out to all my family here in LA. I got a sister right now, she's in the hospital. And I want everybody, you know what I'm saying, the prayers will go out to my sister Sheila, that she gets better, you know what I'm saying, so she can get up out of there and come back home to her family. Very much. All right, take it on.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my family in California and my family here in Louisiana, and matter of fact, I got some up north too, in Michigan area. All right, I want to give a shout out to all of y'all. I want to say I love you very much. I'm doing my homework and hope that I can be of service to my family and community in regards to reparation. I'm going to be studying it. And matter of fact, I think this is going to be my most important work of my life. And I want to see reparation within my lifetime. That's why I said let's hold on to the deadline. You know, next year, that's soon enough. All right, that gives us enough time to go through all of the controversy, all the salt that's going to be thrown up in the game, filter it out. All right, and get down to the brass tacks of distributing the resources for reparations. I want to give a big shout out to my fans, my #1 music fans. You are so great. I love you. I love you so much. And let me tell you, I really appreciate you picking the songs that you like, because that helps chart what I'm going to do in the future. I mean, your good taste is how the new music is going to be built. It's going to be built according to your good taste. You got good taste and you got excellent comments. Keep them coming. On this show, I want to see my YouTube fans and subscribers to hit that like button. But you got to go further than that. You know, you got to make your voice be known. Freedom of speech, to me, it ain't there unless you use it. So here's how you use it. Write it down in the comment section. I'm going to leave that comment section on. I don't care what you got to say, good or bad. It ain't going to be filtered, right? That show you the difference that we can make. The task force, they're doing a great job, but their comments are turned off. We are not going to turn them off. We want to hear from you. We want to know what our public got to say. You are the main thing that's going on besides my personal research of American history. I want to thank you very much for watching the show. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and come back now.
That's our show, and we'll see you again on the next one. Peace.
Good night, and don't drive drunk.